All right, for today's lesson, we are going to be talking about informational text features. We talked about informational text in the last lesson, so we're going to be talking about some more specific features that we see in informational text. I'm going to be showing you an example of an informational text on Mac and VIA, the 12 biggest breakthroughs in medicine, to give you an example of what those different features are. So this first one is the table of contents. You see these in informational books, and it's a list of the book topics and where they are in the book, sort of like the different chapters. So if I wanted to just go read about, say, organ transplants, maybe that was something that interested me, I could just go look on page 22. It's much more easy to skip around it in informational text. The order is less important than in a fictional book. If we keep going, we can see, okay, this page is about Hippocrates introduces scientific thought to medicine. So I can see some different features on this page. I can see some captions. Okay, so it's telling me, okay, this must be a picture of Hippocrates because it tells me Hippocrates lives from approximately 460 to 375 BCE. Okay, it gives me a caption over here telling me, okay, there's the ruins of an ancient hospital where Hippocrates is thought to have worked, can be seen on Kos Island. So those are captions telling me about the pictures. I can also see photos. Like I said, there's some on the last page. Here's another photo with a caption telling me that a researcher uses a high-powered microscope. Okay, here, up on the top here, we have a heading. Okay, so it's like the title of that page. Microscope helps scientists study anatomy. Now, I don't think there are any in this book, but sometimes we have subheadings where there'll be a main heading. So say like for this chapter, and then there might be like another little title there, and then maybe another little title over there. And those are called subheadings because they're underneath the main headings. See what other ones we can find. So we see some more photos, some more captions. Here we have a sidebar. So it's a section of text that provides background information related to the main topic. So in this case, we have smallpox vaccine ends a deadly disease, smallpox. And then over here we have our sidebar that tells us 30, the number of diseases that are presented by vaccines. Hopefully there'll be another one added to that list soon. Am I right? Let's see what else. So we also have, just in general, graphics are images that organize information. Don't remember if there are any charts and diagrams in here. So we see lots of pictures and captions. Again, those headings. We have another sidebar, two sidebars on this set of pages. So not all informational text will have every single one, but I would say most of them have photos. Say they all have a table of contents, or at least almost always. Let's look what else we see. Ooh, blood typing leads to safe transfusions. Maybe you go find this book on Mac and VIA. It looks interesting. There's a section about prosthetics. All right. Here we came to another one. So this is called a glossary. So a glossary is like a small dictionary for certain words in the text. So I can see there are about 12 words that were used in this text, and the glossary defines them. So bacteria, tiny organisms that sometimes cause disease. Now I don't know what page or where that was, but I know if I'd come across it and it was bold, I could look in the glossary. An index is the next one where it tells me what pages I can find things. So if I wanted to go read about organ transplants, where could I look? 22 and 23. Or if I want to read about vaccines, pages 8 and 9. Or if I wanted to read about Alexander Fleming, I can look on page 16. And notice how some of it overlaps with the table of contents, like organ transplants, but there wasn't a chapter about Louis Pasteur, but he showed up in the index. So the index will have more topics than are listed in the table of contents. All right, I think those are all the features that we're going to see in this text. Let me just again highlight some of what we saw. So we saw a table of contents, we saw some photos, we saw the glossary, we saw headings, we saw captions telling us about the picture, we saw the index, we saw sidebars. Didn't see any charts or graphics with labels. So like I said, not every informational text is going to have those. But if there was some sort of chart or diagram and then labels on that diagram, you will often see those in informational text. Sometimes, I bet if we'd been paying attention, we probably would have seen those bold words. Let's actually go back and see if we can find it. Just gonna... Okay, no, those are just the printing. So perhaps this one didn't have any bold words, but oftentimes you will see bold words highlighting that, okay, this is important, pay attention to that. So those are some informational text features. You're going to practice identifying them for your activity for this lesson.